book. I'm going to play sports. I don't need to read books. It's such a waste of time.
Recess is over and come back to class.
Did you know Michael Vick's father was a painter just like my dad? He also had 3 other siblings just like me.
Yeah, whatever. What are you doing? You're supposed to be looking for a book.
I don't have time for reading. I'm too busy being fancy and looking good.
Well, I know just the book for you. Have you ever heard of Fancy Nancy books?
Fancy you? I've never heard of her.
You're going to love her books. I'll go find you one. Wait right here.
Bonjour, 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 my darling. I am Fancy Nancy. And who are you?
You're Fancy Nancy. I'm Gabby. And what does bonjour mean?
Bonjour is a fancy French word for hello. Everything in French sounds fancy. Like thank you in French is merci. And I love your blue fancy dress and your fancy makeup. But why on earth aren't you reading? You're in a fancy library.
Reading is boring. I've never even found a book that I've liked.
Oh my goodness, darling, that makes me feel so melancholy, which is a fancy word for sad. Reading allows you to be magnificent and brilliant and exquisite and extraordinary. Reading teaches you new words so you can sound like the fanciest person in the whole world. Please take a look at my book, Fancy Nancy, and it will teach you new words, and it will teach you how to make your room fancy and your family fancy. And I also have many more books about my adventures and tips on how to be fancy. So ta-ta for now, and never lose your fanciness.
Hey, sorry that took a few minutes, but here are some of the Fancy Nancy books. Hey, how did you get that?
That's my little secret. Merci. And did you know that merci is French for saying thank you? And did you know that fuchsia is French for saying purple? And did you know that ooh la la is French for saying fancy?
That's fabulous. Let's take all of these Fancy Nancy books back to class and see how to learn fancy. You sound pretty good these days.
Thanks. I've been doing a lot of practice.
Looks like our class is pretty close to winning the iRead reading contest if Miss Stevens' class doesn't beat us to the grand prize.
Yeah, I don't have time for that stuff. I need to spend more time on my practicing.
First place is pizza party in the media center during third period.
Pizza? I love pizza. Maybe I can do a little bit of reading.
I was heading to the media center to get a new book. You want to come?
Yeah, okay.
Hi girls, are you looking for anything special today?
Well, I know what I want, but Lauren here doesn't like to read.
You don't like to read, really? Well, I bet I could find something. What are you interested in?
Music.
Music. Okay. Well, we can look in the 700s for books about music, and we can also look in the biographies and find a book about a musician. Come on, let's look. So here are some books about music and the history of music, and there's also this book about Scott Joplin. It's a biography about a famous musician.
I guess I'll take this one. He likes to play piano, and I'll do anything for pizza. I really need to get back to my practicing, but this book looks pretty interesting. Kayla said that we only have to read for half an hour each night. I'll just read for 30 minutes to get back to my practicing. It's a sultry summer evening, just as the turn of the century.
Books can be lots of fun, especially when you find something you're interested in. I've made lots of friends in your library. Check out my friend Mozart and tell him Scott Joplin sent you.
I thought you were supposed to finish practicing.
I was, but this book is so good I couldn't put it down. I read for a whole hour.
An hour? That's just what we needed to win the reading contest.
Yeah!
Boy, it feels great to win the reading contest.
I love reading.
Why do you look so sad?
Sometimes I feel different from everyone else.
Sometimes people feel that way.
Have you ever felt that way?
At times. But you know what I do when I have a problem?
What do you do?
I look for the solution in a book.
Where do I find one?
Well, I just set aside some books for Miss Jones a minute ago. She wants to teach a lesson on diversity. Maybe you should look through here and see if you find something you like. Wow, you've been reading for a while. Tell me about what you've been reading.
I really like this book
Do you? Why?
because it tells about how people are different even if they're the same family.
So has it helped you understand that it's okay to be different
Yes.
and not be sad? I'm so glad you're able to identify with that book and that it was able to help you look at your situation from a different perspective. Would you like to look at another one?
Okay.